If you're in your 20s and you like working with cars, then I'm about to give you 10 of the best car jobs that I wish I knew in my 20s. And if you watch this video all the way through, then comment below which one was your favorite that you like or that's worked for you. But first, subscribe to our channel so we can give you more tips and tricks just like this one. And be sure to stay to the end because we're gonna give you a bonus one that may be the best job for you. The first one is being a car detailer, mobile to be exact. This one is a very good one to start off with because you have the flexibility to just wash and detail every and any type of vehicle there is out there. Let me explain why. Startup cost on this is really low on here. It's actually about, I would say $300 to $500 range if you already have a vehicle. Yes, you do have to buy some of the tools and equipments, obviously, but if you already have a vehicle, you got half of it out the way. I bet you want to know how much you can make on this a week. Well, to be honest with you, you can make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a week detailing cars. But there are some benefits and drawbacks to this. Some of the best main benefits that you actually get to have in this is you have flexibility on times of scheduling for your projects. Then you also have the independence of being able to control your own business at your pace. And you can even scale it up and have more people work up under you and maximize your profits. My second one, which is being a car flipper. You have the best option to buy and sell cars at your own will. Now, the startup cost for this one ranges very harsh on this one because it depends on the car that you buy as your first starter car to flip. But then you also got to remember, you got to fix this car too. But to answer this thoroughly, the startup cost can be around, let's say $2,000 all the way up to about $8,000. Being a car flipper is high risk, but with high risk is high rewards. You're gonna make a lot of money off of it when you do a few more flips and you get your name out there more. Your flips can be anywhere profit margins of $3,000 all the way up to $15,000. So it may be very beneficial for you. Now, you don't have to really require too much skills on flipping a vehicle. You just have to know what the demands are and what people really like. But on the back end, these risks can really end you if you don't calculate for these in the beginning, such as extreme repairs, engine repairs, not knowing what you're dealing with or what type of car you're dealing with. Know what your market is before you even jump into it and you buy something that you don't know what you're getting into, especially if it needs some mechanical work. Now, number 3 is my all-time favorite, becoming a car wrapper. Being a car wrapper is extremely satisfying because you get to make a lot of money, you get to do it at your own pace, and you get to be creative. Each car is your own canvas. The startup cost for being an actual car wrapper is really about $300 to $800 just because you do need to have the tools, and it may go higher depending on if you want to get the proper training for it. But if you don't and you feel like YouTube is great for you on that one, by all means, whichever way you learn, as long as you learn. Now, on a weekly scale, you can make realistically about $1,200 a week all the way up to about $10,000 a week. Yes, so you can make that amount. And if you have a big enough team that can help you with this, they can also maximize your profits by doing multiple full wraps and also smaller projects inside of that week. Now, this vinyl is not permanent, so that way you can easily take it off at any point in time and get it redone, fix anything that you want on it. Number 4 is being a car wrap designer, and you are customizing it for companies, large companies, businesses, mom and pop shops, big and small. If you know how to be a graphic designer, or you have some skills in it, or you just like being in front of the computer, this may be the job for you. The overall startup cost for this one is really about $500 to $1,000, but your profit margins on a weekly basis, depending on how many projects you can get in, can range anywhere from $500 a week to $3,000 a week. The benefit of this one is you get to have extreme creativity. My personal favorite, you can work from anywhere in the world because you could be traveling on vacation or you can be just working at your home office. The list can go on wherever you want to design at, as long as you finish it on the time that they have for you. But the drawbacks on this may question if you really want to do this. First one is, since you can work anywhere around the world, that means These people that are everywhere around the world can also take that project from you. That's the first one. The next part of this one that I personally don't like of being a car wrap designer is so many revisions. You have to limit the amount of revisions because this can also draw back the time that you're spending on it, for one, but also the money is now prolonged because they're not going to pay the final product for it. Then it's going to get drawn out further. But if you are a person that does like to be hands-on and just being up under the car, working with the car, getting a feel for the car, this number 5 should be the best one for you, and that's being a car dismantler. The startup cost for this one can range anywhere from $500 to $2,000. But I know you want to know how much you can actually make. Realistically, you can make about $500 to $2,000 a week. Now, there's key benefits in this because you can then have your own schedule set. You can also be able to go anywhere and do this. You can not only do it in your city, in your town, in your state, because it's that much in demand everywhere. Not only can you make money just dismantling something like this, but you can also sell off parts that people don't no longer want on their car, and also sell the scrap metals too. There are a few drawbacks on this one, but these drawbacks are really intense, such as it being labor intensive. You're going to be on your back a lot, you're going to be on your arms a lot, and working everywhere. The next thing is, if you hurt yourself, it's a high risk of injuring yourself, and you don't want to injure yourself on this one because you're young. Number 6 on here is a mobile tire tech. Mobile tire techs can do a lot more than just change out the tires. They have a wide variety of services, but I'll get into that in a second. The startup cost for this can range anywhere from $1,500 all the way up to about $20,000. And I'll break these down into smaller segments in a second. You're gonna need a good amount of tools and need to know the basics of how to change a tire. Now let me explain the benefits though. Also, make sure that you can schedule it easily for you because guess what? This is in high demand. Number 7 is being a window tinter. A mobile window tinter to be exact. The startup cost on this one can actually be around, I would say about $300 to $500. It's fairly low, especially for what's in so high demand. Let's break down some numbers on this. If you're charging $200 for all around, that means all the windows except for the front windshield, and it takes you about 3 hours to do it. Let's say you do 3 cars in a day. That's $600. Let's say you work 4 days a week. 6 times 4 is 8. Well, it's 2,400. I was about to say 1,800, but I know my math. What about the benefits? The benefits of this is you can cover a wide range, but you got to make sure that you can have a flexible schedule to get to these places, because if one place is 30 minutes away and you know it has traffic, then you need to go ahead and schedule it accordingly so you're not late, pissing off the next client, and then it causes it to be a snowball effect from there. Now, like I said, you have a flexible schedule and it's always in high demand as long as you find the right places to be around. It could be a large city or a small city because, hey, it may not be other tinters in your city and they may all come to you now. And they definitely don't want to drive an hour out just to get window tinted. They might just come to your house, or you can come to them because you're a mobile window tinter. Well, number 8 is for you, and that is being a valet, because it is the lowest of initial investment that you have to make, because you'll be working for another company. Because now all you have to do is just have a valid driver's license and be able to drive and not have a bad driving record either. So the startup cost is 0, and you can make on a weekly basis around $400 to $1,200 because you're doing minimal work. Now let me explain this. When I say minimal work, clients is already there, they're ready to pay, they just need their car moved and put into a parking space that's safe. Now, some of the benefits that they have is you don't have to have too much experience, and you get to have a flexible schedule whether you work the day shift or the night shift, and you keep to have your body active. And those tips, oh my gosh, those tips can get hefty, especially if they like you and they feel like you're doing a great job at it. But if you're not, those tips ain't coming. Drive carefully. Don't scratch it, don't scrape it. Don't think that you just, oh, I got the big G-Wagon today. No. Take care of it like it was yours or somebody you really care about. Don't just whip it in there and skirt. No skirt. No, none of that. Now this next one right here, if you like to work with your hands and you like working up under the hood of these cars, then You know it, a mobile mechanic may be one of the options that will really benefit you, just because mobile mechanics are not readily available, especially not good ones. Good mechanics, period. So, mobile mechanic may be very convenient for the client, but how convenient is it for you? Will you make a lot of money in it? Is it a lot to start up? Let me break that down. Working on some type of cars like these may be very easy to work on, but working on something like that, if you don't know what you're doing and you're about to use YouTube to learn out how to fix or change a water pump on this, slow down. Now, the startup cost for this can range anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000, just because you're gonna need a lot of tools and also get more tools along the way, because you're gonna lose a lot more tools than you actually got, especially the 10 millimeters and the 8 millimeters. You can make anywhere from $1,500 all the way up to $4,000 a week being a mobile mechanic, because everyone's gonna spend for a mobile fee for one, but they also have to do a diagnostic to see what's really wrong with their vehicle. And then that's when you can fix the vehicle. Because once you really know what's going on with it, then you can really pinpoint it and then fix it and fix the other problems that go along with it. Now, the drawbacks are, aside from having dirty hands and everything from working so hard up under this hood, is definitely labor intensive, and you can run the risk of hurting yourself. And there's some people out there that just don't do a good job, and if you don't do a good job, you already know what happens. You begin to lose a lot more than just clients. Number 10 is being a paint protection film installer, PPF to be exact. What do I mean by paint protection film installers? So you know when you see those nice cars and you look really close and you're like, hey, it got a little clear film on it. That's pretty cool. It is actually protecting their paint. The startup cost on something like this for a paint protection film is right around the range of $2,500 to about $3,500. And that goes with training, equipment, and also practicing. These people are really high clients. And when I say high clients, like they bring back more cars, more people, more projects, more fun, more profits. And if you can't do it right the first time, guess what they're not coming to the next time? You. So, learn, spend the time, spend the money to earn more. Now, I addressed a lot of the benefits. Now, let me tell you some of the things that are not so good about it. It's very few. These clients want perfection, and you have to provide that. So, with that being said, if you can't provide perfection, don't do it. The next thing about this is you have to learn the skill in order for you to perfect this craft. If you don't perfect the skill, you won't get these high-paying clients like this one. Giving you 1 through 10. And I'm telling you right now, when it comes to those 1 through 10, what is your favorite? And I also said that I will give you a bonus, as I always do, because you've been watching my videos and you subscribe like I asked you to. The bonus is becoming a car influencer, because that is one thing that people don't think of too much. And I'll break this one down thoroughly for you. So a car influencer can be someone that explains the parts of the vehicle, how the vehicle works, benefits, the cooler things, the new gadgets, all of this stuff that goes inside of a car or outside of the car. They are actually car influencers to help you, guide you along the way of either purchasing a vehicle or getting new technology to fit into your vehicle, or just getting some aftermarket parts. The initial startup cost can be as minimal as possible. You can just start off with your own vehicle, a tripod, your phone, and just a mic. That's it. Now the question is how long does it take to get there? Now, the hustle is sold separately on that one. If you put out good content and be creative along the way and be consistent. Creative content and consistency. But yeah, that sounds all good. Like, yeah, how much can you make though? Well, you can make anywhere from $1,000 a day all the way up to about $30,000 a month. Just by being sponsored, just by being monetized, just by being creative, just by being consistent. Some more of the benefits though is you can actually grow a pretty strong and die-hard audience. Be on top of your game, be creative, be you. Most of all, you don't see me dancing in any of my videos because I can't dance, but I am also trying to make sure that each video gets better and better each time. So try that. This video right here may be the best video that you ever watch. So I suggest you go ahead and try to watch it. Matter of fact, don't try, do it. Because this video